Hello everybody, my name is Kikotan and I'm a pixel artist with 8+ years working in the indie game industry. I'm also the creator of Morocco Studios, my own personal indie game studio. I mostly focus on pixel art and 2D animation, and this is a new journey that I'm embarking on. I thought it would be a good idea to finally do my own pixel art tutorial channel. I always wanted to try it out. I always wanted to share the secrets, the skill that I earned over the years, and yeah, it's a new adventure, and I'm gonna try it out, and hopefully I can give back to the community what has been given to me back in the day when I myself was watching all tutorials. And yes, let's do this. Let's learn together. So for my first tutorial, I thought it would have been a great idea to start with the basics. So what I'd like to teach you guys will be just a 16 by 16 character sprite for Game Boy. So we're gonna start small, basic, and like a good approach for like all the beginners that that want to deep dive in. So as a starter, I know that like I've been a beginner too, so like I know that like a lot of people might ask like, okay, but like what size should I start? What's the right canvas resolution? You know what? Let's get to the chase. Something I suggest, it's using like the Game Boy classic resolution, which is 160 by 144. Okay, even though we're gonna do like 16 by 16, I think that's a good way to have like a good size canvas without overthinking it. So just get straight to work. Another thing, and I'm speaking for experience, like because I've been there, so I know what it means to struggle. You don't know what to do, insecure, like too many choices. So something that like I set up here, it's I set up the 4-color palette for from Game Boy. I made them myself. You can totally like download some from the internet and then make change it to make it your own. Doesn't need to be exactly like, just like vaguely idea of like 4 different colors like this one. You can look online for inspiration, but like this way you're limited in your choices, and you won't go color picking, and yeah, you won't even waste that much time color picking and freeze before even starting. So another thing, like I will suggest, okay, first of all, this is what I do. I don't like to have like someone else's background there. So you'll notice here that like, yeah, like the background is checkered with in a pattern of 16 by 16 squares. However, though, the grid, I set it up as to be like 8 by 8, because like in smaller resolution it's nicer. It actually helps a bit to have like a smaller like a grid in case you have to be precise and measure, otherwise instead of like eyeballing it all the time. Okay, I mean, and we won't be actually like switching it, like using it all the time. Just depends, like right now. So okay, we are set up for now, so let me start with the 16 by 16 character sprite. So what I will suggest you guys is to actually like sketch it out on paper first, because that way I mean, you can jump straight right in on in A-Sprite and start drawing. Like nobody's gonna say anything. I mean, if you wanna do it that way, fine. I do that too a lot of time. However, though, if you sketch it out first on paper or whatever, Photoshop, whatever you use, like it actually like gives you a vague idea like to what you're gonna do. and so you don't spend too much time sketching in a small resolution pixel art. You know what I mean? He actually like cuts the production time by quite a bit, I gotta be honest. And they don't need to be like detailed sketches either, like something couple of minutes, like as long as like you can understand the big idea. So basically, like for this exercise, I'm gonna do 16 by 16 hoplite character that I just doodled for 2D platformer for Game Boy, as you saw. And don't worry if you go back and forward, see, like I already did this, and you know, like it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Like it takes time, you know. That's what I'm trying to. So basically, like another thing, like even if you sketch it out, unless you really fell in love with your like sketch, it doesn't have to be a one-by-one transposition, you know. It's just to have a minimum, a vague idea of what is going on, and so that you don't spend too much time. Also here, like you see how I keep the preview here. That's nice to see, like about the overall silhouette. So for readability, in case you're wondering about that. Okay, so for anybody that are asking, I said Hoplite Warrior. And just so you know, like Hoplite Warriors, they were the heavy infantry for the ancient for the ancient Greeks, okay, and they were heavily armored, and they carried like giant I mean, they were like big shields, heavy shields, and like long spears, okay. And I thought it would be cool to go to do it like that. Personal choice. I mean, I didn't really want it to go in the medieval route, like it's saturated, and I just wanted to do something, even if as an exercise, I just wanted to do something like a bit more unique, perhaps. And see, I know that like you guys might have expected me to do something like to do a character that like had a more straight pose. However, though, like don't be confined with what what is expected. Like I like a bit, me personally, I like more dynamic pose. I like a bit more hunched, and I'm happy like using the most the small canvas that I'm getting. You actually like that's what I'm saying. Don't feel limited. I mean, you can always expand something like the palette. You can resize the sprite whatever you want, sure, right? However, though, something that like I personally like love about this resolution, and starting with these like limitations, it's that it helps me the restriction. They are inspiring, and they force you to use your credits. So it might be hard at the beginning, but trust me when I tell you that like it's a nice creative exercise to say the least, you know. So yeah, I don't know if you're noticing my process. Like, feel free to approach however way you want, because it's very personal. Maybe my method might seem like chaotic to you, or like a bit all over the place, you know. But definitely, like at this smaller resolution, it's a bit more trial and error. And I mean, honestly, on every resolution. However, though, like feel free to explore, do whatever you want. Don't worry, like nobody's running behind you. Like this is like purely exploratory phase, and yeah, like see what comes out of it. And yeah, oh, also Keep in mind, if you want to like further challenge yourself with the system restriction of a Game Boy Classic, keep in mind that like usually the sprites, although they use four color palettes, you have to think that one of those colors it's actually transparent. So I mean, not necessarily, you can always use it, nobody's stopping you, but if you really want to force yourself, that's a good exercise to economize on economize with color palette and the sword. Which, yeah, reminder, I'm gonna start doing it with mine as well. Also, another thing, you can use different colors, you know, if you wanna remind yourself that like, okay, this is the lance, okay, this is the fur, and then you can always like use the bucket tool and fill it up again. So okay, so let's start like this. So for this particular sprite, I am using notice that I'm leaving the okay, I'm using like a black border, I mean the darkest color of the color palette as a border for the sprite. However, for the feet, since they will be touching the ground, I'm not using it. So otherwise it will seem that it's levitating, and it will also it will also make it shorter, so that you always kind of want to use as much as you can. So you can even leave it here open, but that's what I'm trying to avoid. So basically, if you are understanding my approach, I'm using this dark green as the main color for the sprite, for the character, and I'm using the white for the highlights, using like sporadically to just highlight and perhaps give a sense of 3D. And so for example, on the shield, the eyes, the hand perhaps, and the helmet, and the point of the lance. Also, feel free to erase the pose and change it. Like, did you notice how I started with a more dynamic, but then I changed it because like the overall silhouette was not translating. Like the shield was covering too much the pose, the more dynamic pose. So feel free to change it. Don't be married to anything that much. You will change. It's all about like adapting and seeing what works, what doesn't work. Don't feel stressed. It's enjoy the process. That's what I can tell you. You enjoy the process, and that's about it. See how we're almost done. Let me see if this works. I'm trying to give a different highlight. could work. Could be nice. Now I need to find a way. This might work. Yeah, that's my dog protecting the house. Okay, how does the silhouette looks? I would like it to be more prominent. Let's see how this works. Okay. Let's try something. You can even try to change these perhaps, or make it this lighter. Oh, this works as well. I like this better. So, and here we are. So, let me do this. I'll make another one for tiles set. Let's empty this out. And here we are. And we have a 16 by 16 Game Boy Classic ready sprite. It's gonna work in every background. It's not gonna blend in. And yes, ready to export. If you select it and then export as, you can check here selection, and it's gonna automatically export as PNG the selection that you had. And if we open it, ta-da! Easy peasy. You have a 16 by 16 pixel sprite. And so with today, we are pretty much done with today. With today's first tutorial. I really want to thank everybody for being here, for watching. This is my first tutorial ever. It's actually it's a challenge for me too, but it's something that I always participated for many years, and I really wanted to try it, and finally I decided to embark in this journey. I really wanted to keep at it on a weekly basis, at least one tutorial per week, 2 tutorials per week. Doesn't have to be big. I really want to share the basics with everybody, because I know the struggles for that beginners go through, insecurities, questions, and I really want to share my knowledge, because it is a hard path, but with few insights it can be way easier, and not such a scary threshold to surpass. And so I hope you enjoy, and please practice, and feel free to comment, share your progresses, and please hit a like and subscribe to my channel. I really will appreciate it, and I'll make more, and have a good day. Kikotan out. Bye!